Platchums!
Okay, reviews. Let's go.
Yeah.
Not really a whole lot to say. The intros are always terrible for this anyway. So we are on Truth 2002, so possibly a young buck in the trophy hunting community. You might put him around an 18-year-old. So, but he's already managed in a short time on the planet, if this is in relation to the age, of course, already managed to amass a massive back catalogue of games and trying to increase my completion percentage. So, 4,158 unearned trophies. Sweet Jesus. Sweet. But 7.24 trophies a day. Now, that's quite high. That's quite high. So you'd think you'd be tearing through these unearned trophies at a bit of a faster rate, but sure, we'll go with it, Truth. We'll go with it. So 105 platinums, 96 of those platinums are 100% completion games. That's pretty decent, and a 57% overall, which is kind of on the lower end of what we've seen so far, but we'll see what the platinums entail. I can already see a Fall Guys one, and I'm going to bet that was unlocked maybe around May.
Very possibly, like myself. I like the trophy cabinet. It looks pretty cool. There's some good games in there, some ones that we recognize. The original Resident Evil, I've yet to go back and do that, and that's cool.
I forgot I gave you that. Yeah, you should really play that.
Yeah, I really should.
Great game.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot as well, which is definitely
very nice.
Definitely probably the hardest of the trilogy. Doom, I know that's a really hard plat.
And Killing Floor 2 that made its way into a trophy cabinet. That's a first. The other thing I'm looking at, Minecraft. I'm going to bet you maybe €10 high stakes here at the Platchums. That's all we can afford. €10 bet that I'm going to put my money on Truth. The Truth has the Minecraft 100%.
Ooh.
So don't let me down. Don't let me down.
Who gets the money?
We do, if we're right. So Truth will leave you the PayPal details after the video.
Okay, cool. It's maybe because it's in the trophy cabinet. You might be right. It is. Yeah, someone actually asked me recently, did I have like all the DLC for Minecraft, and I don't. And it's actually, I think it's one of my lowest completion rate games because of that.
The DLC is insane, though.
So much DLC, yeah, and I just
actually insane.
I just played the game like a million years ago, like in 2012 or something. So I'm flicking
through here about my guesstimation about the name being the age might be wrong. There's an awful lot of arcade games here. I don't think an 18-year-old knows what an arcade is anymore. So it has a PS5, so congrats. I feel like that's always well done. You managed to get one. So Astro's Playroom, which has kind of become the de facto. It's like a rite of passage when you get a PS5, it seems. You just need to get that platinum. So I mean, I'm scrolling through here, and like there's like really good games. Like straight away, I'm like, this is just a gamers list first and foremost. I think the trophy hunting may be something that they're leaning towards more recently. But some you just seem to give everything a go, which is like that's great. And also you just kind of platinum, like Borderlands. There's a decent amount to that. You did it in 3 days though, so maybe not that much to it. But still, got your Call of Duties. No Concrete Genie platinum, which is bizarre because that's definitely on the easier side.
It's a handy one to go back and clean up.
Call of Duty, I'd say just leave it.
Well, like the Modern Warfare campaign and the new Modern Warfare, they're very doable in a few days, and they're great games. The Modern Warfare 2 campaign is probably my favorite campaign. Maybe Modern Warfare 1, the first one, but they're great. Cryptid Necrodancer at an A with 8% with 4 trophies.
That game. You should go and maybe clean that up a bit. It's odd to see on such kind of like, I'm not saying you're casual, you've like 105 plats. That's not really a fair comment, but I mean like just crypt just thrown in there. It's kind of like that's like a real hardcore game. I feel. But yeah, like I like just a very interesting mix. Like you've kind of dipped your toe into Dark Souls, but you haven't really dunked your whole body in just yet.
Plenty of time for that.
Kind of like me, just Destroy All Humans 1. I bought Destroy All Humans 2, and I haven't played it on the account yet.
Well, there's both the remake and the original there. I haven't played the remake yet, but it looks good.
Looks great. I think it's a far easier platinum than the original, like the PS2 one.
Yeah, the PS2 ones always seem to be a bit,
it's just the collectibles.
Yeah,
very, very, very annoying on it. So I
love that Doki Literature Club Plus. That looks like a great game. It looks like an anime kind of dating sim game, but it's not. It's like and it presents itself as such, and you start the game off and it's like that, and then it suddenly takes a really big twist. I haven't played it myself, but I've watched some videos on it and it looks really good. Even though I know kind of what happens in the game, it looks like a really, really cool game. A lot of Doom, a lot of retro games.
Yeah, an awful lot of retro games. Yeah, like Doom 1 and 2. Like I finished them essentially because they were in the Doom 3 BFG edition.
Yeah,
which I feel like is maybe just because I have it, but I feel like it's one of the most underrated plats of all time. It
is. It's a lot to that platinum.
That took a lot of effort, and it's like Doom 1 and 2 would be two different experiences, but it's just like Doom 3 on its own is like a whole other thing with all the different difficulties and stuff. But then once it's like you need to master Doom 1 and 2 as well. Yeah, that was a tough platinum. Then there was like the online as well. I think there was a couple of trophies related to online. That was just one of the nastiest trophy lists ever. Like BFG Doom 3 edition.
Yeah.
Or Doom 3 BFG edition. Idiot. But okay, and he got Fall Guys in May.
Yeah.
We know what you did, Truth.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah, I was there. I was probably in the queue.
I was there when
I was there.
Standing there going, guys, we're all here for the same reason, guys.
Yeah. I have to say, I really admire someone that can, get 1 or 2 trophies in the game and stop. I really wish I had that ability, because I just definitely don't. And then I get stuck playing ridiculous games. Oh my God, G-Force looks super cool. I always wanted to see that movie because I love guinea pigs. I always thought it looked really cool because I really I always had guinea pigs growing up. And I thought wow, a movie about guinea pigs. It didn't obviously captivate Truth's attention for the whole platinum, but 10 trophies in, is obviously a fair shake at the guinea pigs.
Give it a fair old go. And then just a very interesting list of games. You seem to dip your toe into a lot of different franchises, like God of War 1, but not God of War 2. Normally, considering, I think you can buy them separately now, but that's the Vita. But, the God of War HD collection, it was kind of like 2 for the, price of 1.
Yes, yeah.
With God of War 1 and 2, so it's odd that it's only the first game here. And then obviously, I guess the soft reboot / sequel that was God of War 2018.
There just seems to be one of nearly every big franchise and every genre on this list.
All the big hitters here. I find it interesting that Truth is playing Hades on the PS4 because we've established that is he or she has access to a PS5.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I don't think it's not really a game that benefits too much from a PS5. It's a fantastic game though, and I'd strongly recommend going back. I think it just gets better and better as you kind of get more into it. But
some very interesting games. You must be the only person who's playing Heavy Fire Afghanistan on the PS3 in 2021.
Yeah, very possibly.
Maybe because it was politically, on trend. Maybe you were like, let's see what all the fuss is about. It's very strange. It's actually all I guess this might be quite a new list because not a lot of things 2020, 2021, only 2 years old.
Yeah, well, seven trophies a day is,
it's a good indicator, but they've played 230 games in 2 years.
Yeah. Like I think this account is definitely skewed because of a lot of the E ranks, and I don't think there's been an F rank yet, which is really interesting.
Like you give the games a go.
In
fairness,
which is it's.
I just
cool.
wonder if this was either someone that inherited a couple of PlayStations with like someone's entire back catalog, or it was like you forgot the password for your old account and you made a new one. Or you took a break from gaming from the arcade days in the 80s, and now you're just kind of making up for lost time. There's an awful lot of possibility. You're an intriguing character, Truth. You're an intriguing character, I have to say. It's hard. Minecraft. Oh, you let me down.
Yeah, sorry. That
so I have to pay Truth. Leave me your PayPal details.
Medieval is 18 out of the 39. That's a like I thought that was a funny one because I got that on I played that as part of PlayStation Now, and I thought, well, this will be a fairly handy one because I remember playing it on the PS1 and I thought it was going to be really easy, and it was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. A lot of jumping in and out of different levels. Like this
Miles Morales in a day and 23 hours, even with the new game plus.
I think that seems to be fairly commonplace. It seems to be a very short game.
Yeah, I much prefer the PS4 artwork.
Yes.
For some reason than the PS5. I don't know. It just looks more like a group. Like they're both kind of doing their Spider-Man thing.
Yeah, you mentioned about the PS5, but I wonder maybe like I haven't seen many PS5 games on the list.
Legends of Talia Arcadia.
Oh yeah.
PS5 as well. So it's only been 2 games. So maybe you just kind of popped over or broke into someone's house and like got a few quick plats before you.
Enough time to do Astrobots and Autopop. One game. No.
Autopop. Legends of Talia.
Yeah. Well,
many faces as well. That's like there's Mirror's Edge Catalyst, no original one. Catalyst is a game that I've been meaning to play. Like I adore the first game. I played, I think, the first hour of Catalyst, and I quite liked it, but I felt like the open world didn't really suit something like Mirror's Edge for like momentum. Is kind of key to it. I feel like a linear game design or like a semi, like the illusion of an open kind of terrain suits that game, but you very much need to be on like kind of a set path.
Yeah, I think you'd really like Ghost Runner, because that's like it's really like an evolution of Mirror's Edge in a lot of ways.
Well, you'd like Dying Light because it's very similar to Mirror's Edge, but with just better combat. I'm still excited about the second Dying Light, but I don't know the amount of delays. We'll see when it arrives. So first, my name is Mayo, which you're very hard to pin down, Truth, and you're kind of a strange mystique about you, because you seem to not care about trophies, but you play a lot of games that are the only reason you play them is for the trophies. So it's hard to see what your motivation is. What is the truth behind Truth? For some games that I don't know what Nexomon is.
It's like a Pokemon game, basically.
I was thinking it's got the mon about. My god, it literally like.
No, it literally is just
art style.
It is, but it looks cool. I haven't played it myself, but I've heard good things. It reviews pretty well. Persona 5, 7 trophies.
Yeah. 7 trophies. You're giving it a go. Psychonauts 1 trophy. Was that the tutorial? Was it? Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a single F rank, which is very commendable. I think to be able to do that, and give every game a go, and then just stick with what you like and what you really enjoy is.
Then great, like Resident Evil 1, like that platinum isn't what I'd say like super easy.
No.
5.82.
It's a really tough platinum.
On, the PSN profile side, and then Remnant. And like even something like Ratchet and Clank, you finish. There's a little bit to that plat as well. Not as much as Resi or Remnant, but like
there's two playthroughs as well. Yeah, and like I would say, arguably the hardest plat of all the Resis, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I would say
maybe Code Veronica, similar.
Probably the hardest.
Yeah.
Like I can't speak for Code Veronica X. I haven't played with the trophies. Like I haven't played that game in like 20 years or something. Resident Evil Zero is a game that you have, but I've never played it. It's one of the very few Resi games I haven't played.
Yeah.
I give you my HD collection, so I think whenever you're done with it, I'll probably go for Zero as well, to be honest, just to kind of have the set.
Yeah.
Code Veronica X is here, of course, and Village as well.
Village, yeah. Very close to Village plot. Yeah.
Okay, another PS5 again. Really leading into my theory that you broke into someone's house here to get these plats and quickly knock them out.
Plenty of time, yeah.
But just I don't know. Like I don't know what you think, man. But I'm just like, this is just such a cool list. Because it's just like such an eclectic mix of just everything, and you seem to give things like a fair go.
Yeah.
Like even Star Wars 7 trophies. Like you're playing these games. You're not just kind of like, as you said, Dan, like it's not like just F. Are there worlds? I keep forgetting that exists, and I really want to play it.
Yeah, no, it looks great. Yeah, it's one of the like the big games that I've yet to play. It's kind of on my list, just because I love New Vegas so much, and it's supposed to be pretty much the best Bethesda game since Bethesda were good, pretty much. It's not a Bethesda game, but
a good selection of Tom Clancy's here, which they're never like the easiest platinums, in fairness.
Yep.
So
and that
like,
Tomb Raider
good
platinum has a huge amount of grind in it.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. If you've done the online grind for Tomb Raider, you have my eternal respect and empathy, because that was, I think, the worst multiplayer mode I played in the PS3 generation.
It's definitely like the most tacked on feeling multiplayer I think I've ever played.
God.
Yeah.
It was like, kind of, they had 20 minutes before like it was going gold and going to print, and they're like, shit out something.
I remember Dead Space 2 had a really tacked on multiplayer, but they had like a lot to it because you could play as the necromorphs, but it still felt awful.
There was at least something that's like, okay, we'll do oh my god, the boosting. If it wasn't for friend Denzel, when we were playing that, a guy based in Florida, I think he got me through that Tomb Raider boosting. My god. Then there's quite a few, quite easy platinums. But I wouldn't necessarily say like the real muck, the real tacky. It's not completely riddled with Radalika.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see the average rarity, just because like there's a lot of unfinished games, and a lot of the rarer trophies would lean towards the end of a game,
60. So 60, like I've seen a lot higher than that. Like there's only 17 ultra rares.
Yeah.
Kind of 10 PS3, 11 Vita. Like you're kind of consistent. You kind of build up here, and then by 6 probably dinner time. For
dinner time. Yeah.
And then you're back on it. No, these stats are okay, we're in the right time zone anyway. You're in the UK.
Yeah. Well, like I think
this is pretty accurate.
Yeah, like I think I can see obviously the goal of the account is completion percentage, and I think that would make like such a huge difference, just the overall stats. Like I think it's a really cool list, and I really admire the gamer ethic here on show. This is someone that just loves games, loves trying games, and it sticks to the games that they love as well, which is great. Definitely an interest in the trophies, because there's some easy plats in there, but then there's some tough, meaty plats in there as well. So huge amount of potential in this like list. To think that it's only 2 years old, like mine, that's 20% of the age of my account, and with hundreds of plats.
It's only like 43 plats behind me, and my account's like 13 years old this October. So like that's serious. And the thing as well, it's like they're not like bullshitty plats. Like there's some easy ones in there.
There's some, like there is some.
And it's kind of like you're like speed running two different types of kinds. You're like speed running like a really great like just gaming list with loads of plats, but also like an insane backlog. It's such a like complex list. But look, I hope you kind of tidy up what you want to tidy up. I would say another 20 to 30 completed games in this list would start to take on like a different complexion. Then it'd kind of be like a tier above.
Like I would say definitely like be a bit wary of adding new games on if completion rate is your goal, like because there's just so much scope there for like cleaning up plats that if you just like took one game every 2 weeks to go back and finish, there's some games there that you could finish in, like Concrete Genie could probably be done in like an hour, Like there's loads of games like that.
Assassin's Creed 2, that's pretty easy. Now you've got big meaty ones like Red Dead 2 and Batman Arkham Knight here. Bioshock Infinite, there's not a whole lot to it really. Like it's these kind of games, like these big ones that are longer games, but they're actually relatively easy.
And if you look at like, say, if there's 200 games on the account, for example, like that means that every game on the account is taking 0.5 of a percentage, of the completion rate. So one full game equals 0.5%. So if you went back and finished a few of these games, or even just brought a few of them up, like, some of them are at E, and unfortunately just the way that the system works is we're not going to be able to get rid of those E's because there's been one account on there, or it was our one trophy on there. So like I have a few games that like I just I'll never get the platinum on, but it can be quite rewarding just to go back and get it up as much as you can, or as much as you kind of feel like it.
A lesson in that. You were like, I think a year ago, you were like 75.
I don't know.
Like
I can't remember.
And like you're like 91%. No, I like complete like you have like your account is as old as mine, and like you had games that you hadn't touched in 10 years that you went back to, so it can be done. Now you need to be lucky with servers closing and all that kind of stuff. But like you can claw it back. But look, I think truth, keep doing what you're doing, and good luck with the backlog challenge.
Yep, big time. It's a great account.
Next up, another one from the UK. Smoke me a kipper and I'll have that trophy by breakfast. We've got Face Palmer 93, so I'm guessing that this might be a 27 to 28-year-old man, maybe I'd say.
Very possible. Very possible. This is a different account. This is, I suppose the stats immediately would kind of remind me of my own when I see it there.
I can see that this is an older profile. Let's see, a few hidden trophies though. I'm always suspicious of those.
I would always like give people the benefit of the doubt with hidden trophies, just because there's like, there could be like
PS3 era mistakes.
Or there could be, it could be like a cousin loaded up a very unfortunate disc, or I know we spoke about this before about, some of those hack lobbies where they auto pop trophies for you and stuff. So
I dodged a bullet with a guy I was living with in Galway when he would always play my account at the weekend, even though he had his own fucking account, and he put like Sonic the Hedgehog on my list. And lucky I caught it when it was 0%, because the way to handle that was you needed to delete your profile and just not sync your trophies, and then like create a profile on the PS3 and then sign into your PSN again. That's how you got rid of like 0% lists. I was so angry with him, and he was just like, well, like, what the hell, it's only Sonic. I'm like, you don't fucking understand.
You don't get it.
You just don't get it. But okay, so straight away I'm just noticing Friday the 13th, may God have mercy on your soul.
I love the trophy cabinet. Like I can immediately see that I have very similar taste in games. It's like Final Fantasy,
Bloodborne and Final Fantasy 7. It's like a Dan clone right here.
Big time. And then
so because these bigger lists, we don't want to be too flippant with them, but we're not going to talk about every single game on it. I'd rather talk about like the complexion of the collection and what it says as a gamer, and maybe just point out some kind of interesting ones. Also got a PS5. Well done.
They're more common than you think.
Damn it. Straight away though, I'm like, damn, like a lot of S ranks,
A
lot of A ranks. Great mix of games.
Back to the Future is an interesting one to be an E because it's such an easy platinum.
Easy, yeah. Played it recently, so maybe you can go back. Maybe you just didn't, that was Telltale before it kind of became Telltale, really.
Is it still on the store? I don't know.
Maybe. Oh, Bastion, that's a game I'll hopefully be playing pretty soon.
It's very quick time for Bastion, actually. 2 days, 13 hours.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I found it a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
I'm looking forward to playing. Okay, so we've got a great mix of kind of the big games, some like a kind of a streak of quite easy ones here. Then like Conan Exiles is kind of thrown in with the super rare DLC.
I think
all the Crash.
Just the reason Conan is so rare with the DLC is because everyone got it on PS Plus, and you can use the debug menu to get all the trophies in like an hour, and then nobody bought the DLC trophies.
They took the plat and ran.
Yeah. So
So we're going
Dark Cloud. I love that game. No plat though. It's easy.
Dark. I own that and I haven't played it yet. Again, it's just been sitting there. There's still like, I'd say 15, maybe 12 to 15 games on my PS4 that I still need to play. And then I feel like I'm done, even though Dark Cloud's like PS2, but still.
Yeah.
So we've got, Doom is showing up. The old Dooms as well are showing up on both your lists. You two would have a great time together. Quite a lot of these easier games will be interesting to see what the average rarity is here. Then a game like Erica, which I just couldn't get into. I played it on like an alt account. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, like I thought it looked interesting, and I got it for free, of course, with the PS Plus. But then, I just didn't feel like watching a movie 5 times.
That looks like such a monotonous plat. And that's coming from me, like the king of platting monotonous, grindy plats. Like just couldn't hack it out. Fall Guys in May again.
Yep, it's very much a theme, and like that's exactly the same as me and Truth, which is like 9 months. So we all started together, we all finished it together.
That's what I love about the trophy community, though. They saw an opening, and by Jesus, did they go for it?
Yeah.
Like
I did.
The coordination and the teamwork and the camaraderie, I think it's to be admired and not ridiculed, personally.
I missed dinner when I heard about the glitch or the exploit. I was like, I have to go.
Did you just stand up and was like, something's come up, I must leave?
Yeah. A lot of Final Fantasies. Firewatch, nice. I love Firewatch. Firewatch is still my PS4 theme on my PlayStation 4. It's an awesome theme on there. I
haven't played it yet.
It's a really nice game. It's just such an atmospheric one, but there's also a really, really good story to it. Friday the 13th doesn't have the plat, but is very close with a lot of the ultra rares.
I'm guessing it's like the 1,000 matches. Oh my god, I find it crazy. This like, I just couldn't see myself going for a plat like this anymore, even if it was put on my list accidentally.
Yeah.
Because I like it. It was a game that I played on my alternative account with my cousin, and we played a couple of matches. Oh, it's kind of fun, but it's like a B movie of games. It's like one of those where like you watch it, you have a laugh with it, but like I'd never play it, outside of that. I played 10 matches and kind of felt like I finished it, that way. Like I've seen everything this game has to offer.
Yeah.
So I just closed his damn thing on technical difficulties.
This will be either edited out or we will awkwardly bounce around this.
Okay, cue montage. Where do I go to the history in this?
Up to the top. Yeah. And there it is. Perfect. Nice. Nobody saw a thing. Okay, and we're back.
So, Face Palmer, I don't know yeah, I just don't think I have a plat like that in me anymore.
Yeah, well, I can see that the last trophies were kind of over the summer, so I think maybe they threw in the towel as well, possibly.
Fair play. You got some ultra rares out of it. Like that's all that we can really hope for in this life.
Yeah. Well, I know like I'm in a similar situation with a few games where it's like, okay, I've gotten like most of the trophies, and say I've put in 100 hours to get this far, but if I want to get an extra trophy, it's another 100 hours just for one more trophy. It's not worth it sometimes.
Yeah, like with Persona 4, I'm loving it, but I'm already have the eye on the new game plus. Like it might be nice if I manage to get everything out of the way and I can just like kind of play it like a madman, but it's kind of like that second playthrough, the second necessary playthrough, it's kind of like such a long game.
Yeah,
but I am loving it. But it's like I feel like I've got less and less of those in me as I slowly turn to dust. So after that, it's kind of okay. Some greed, like Guacamelee is a game I'm surprised you didn't finish.
Yeah, another run of fairly easy games. Hades,
well done.
Yeah,
that's hot off the press.
Very much so. Yeah. Great game.
Actually, I just want to see how old this Akine is. I didn't look. 7 years. Okay, 7 years. I would have thought it was even older than that, personally, with the sheer amount of games here. Yeah, no, that's actually pretty crazy for 7 years. So we've got like Jack, and then there's Inside. You gave Eco a go, but you didn't see what the hype was about. So yeah, this is kind of like I'm getting slight completionist vibes, but also not afraid to walk away. You're kind of like a semi-completionist,
like myself. Yeah, I would consider myself a semi-completionist.
If I had to label myself.
Yes. Linger in the Shadows.
Oh, Linger in Shadows. That used to be like the benchmark for easy trophies. Do you remember back in the day, Linger in Shadows was the ultimate shameful list.
Yes.
Then Terminator came along shortly thereafter. How times have changed.
Well,
like that's the next game to see.
The next game on the list is, in my opinion, the worst game available on the PS Store is Little Adventure in the Prairie. I think that is, at least in my experience, that's the worst game I've ever seen. It's just so badly made. It's effectively not even a game. It's like someone made it in 20 minutes. It's atrocious.
But Dan, he got the plat.
Yeah, he got the plat.
That's all that matters. And then like the obligatory Spider-Man plat. Actually, you know what? The Miles Morales one doesn't look too bad when it's up against the remastered PS5 art. Just have to say, I just like them to match. I'm sad like that.
Yeah, it's unfortunately they don't match, but they do look cool. The two of them there together, because they use the aspect ratio to fully show off the spider icon, which is cool.
No, Mass Effect 1 and 2. Actually, you haven't come across these yet. The re-releases that are far easier than the original lists, because you've all the Mass Effect Platinums as well, don't you?
Yes, yeah. I don't have them all 100% though. I think 3 has a lot of DLC that I didn't play. Yeah,
the 3 is great DLC, but these are far easier. I think they don't have the Insanity playthrough.
I played Mass Effect, 2 and 3 when they were released, and
same.
I was extremely invested in the controversy around the ending when it first came up. I was very disappointed about the ending for Mass Effect 3, and I know they went back and they kind of fixed it, but I still don't think they fixed it
with the Citadel DLC. Well, they kind of gave the game like an epilogue. You haven't played it. I feel like maybe it won't have the same emotional resonance.
I know what happens in the Citadel anyway, but
okay, but I felt like that would have. You see, it always needs to end with a bang, I suppose, but like that for me was almost like the real ending.
No, the real ending is indoctrination. That's the real ending.
Yeah,
that's
don't remind me.
That's I'm sticking with that until the day I die. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, okay. Well, we won't get lost in the Mass Effect because I was going to go. Well, when you think about the Reapers, they kind of went too bit. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we got the medieval plat here. Shadow Mordor, great little game. Mortal Kombat, and then of course My Name is Mayo, the hallmark of any kind of trophy hunters list. It seems these days. Oxenfree, a game that you highly recommend.
Yeah, it's a good one. Persona 4, as you were discussing.
Yeah, kind of left that one to the worms.
Oh wow, 7 years ago, one of the first games maybe on the account.
Yeah. So maybe go back if the Vita still works. Some just again, Planet of the Eyes. Never heard of this.
Plague Inc. around the time of the global pandemic was started in. So that's
yes, true role playing there.
Role playing, yeah.
So got Ratchet and Clank.
Pretty far in
I
Red.
rarely see
Dead
Rocket League at 100%.
Yes, yeah. I tried to get up there, but I didn't get to the 100% myself.
It's just kind of like I always say, monotonous. It's not too bad. I feel like maybe because I was getting the trophies as it was dropping.
Yeah.
Or it was kind of less work for me. Whereas, if you miss kind of 2 or 3 of the updates, suddenly it becomes a case of kind of need to get like 12 extra trophies or 15, and then it just kind of it runs out of your control a little bit.
It does, yeah. You should see me with Warframe. It was like I was great. I think I got up to like DLC pack 11, and then I stopped, and now they're at like DLC pack 38 or something.
The closest thing I have to that is Killing Floor 2. I feel like that's the biggest ongoing battle with DLC.
You should just look at Warframe, man. It's gone far beyond me.
There's that Sonic game that my housemate put on. Maybe it would have been too bad to tidy up, but I just never liked Sonic. I'll say it. I just never got the appeal.
I've never been much of a Sonic fan because I was always like Nintendo through and through growing up, so I never got too much exposure to Sonic, I suppose.
I think I tied in with my dickhead of a cousin that never let me play. One of my earliest memories was like, "Please, can I play your game?" And then he's like, "No, go away," because he's a little bit older. And then me and Steve would just sit there, look depressed. Okay, it's turned into a therapy session. So I
think we can all relate to that. Growing up, the important message is if you have, if there's a younger person,
siblings or cousins, or
let them play.
Let them have a go.
It'll make their, they won't be sitting there in 25 years
as a grown-ass man going, "Who didn't let me play Sonic?" So a few stacks.
Super games.
I wouldn't say stacks, kind of doubling up maybe.
Doubling up.
So your Vita still works in 2020, so you could maybe boot up Persona again.
Yeah.
Tales from the Borderlands, quite a nice little collection of Tekken games.
It's quite a few fighting games. I saw a bit of Mortal Kombat earlier as well.
Oh, and over the summer, someone played Terminator Salvation in 2021. My God. And swiftly followed by Terminator Resistance Enhanced on PS5. That's why you go next gen for games like this.
Yeah, big time. It is mad, we've said it before, but like that being a 54% is like, it's just crazy to me, considering that like there's games out there. Yeah, the infamy associated. Last of Us did get the 100% for part 2, but that's fairly easy to clean up.
Yeah, played it this year. I can understand why, Facepalmer might be willing to sit on this one, because it is a heavy game, and it is even to replay it. It's quite long, even if you're flying through it. So I can see why holding back on the New Game Plus there. I
do like how they went and they played The Last of Us and then went straight on to part 2. That would have been cool to have that, immediate ability to go from one to the other.
Yeah.
Because I had like obviously whatever 6-7 years of a wait between the two.
Yeah, I got The Last of Us release day.
Me too, yeah.
So like that was like the longest possible wait. The Market Cree.
Yeah, PS2 game, I think.
That's something you don't see too often.
Yeah.
It's one of the PS2 classics on the PS4 side that just, I don't know, everyone has the GTA games or Jack and Daxter or something. So it's nice to see that. The Order 1886 coming up quite a lot. I still can't believe it's not like €5 or €10. It's still quite expensive.
I will never understand that. It's insane.
All the Walking Dead.
Yep.
Wolf Among Us. Like again, just you play everything. But it's more of like it's either the quite easy games, and then fighting games and arcade games, and like the big heavy hitters. It's just a really good mix actually of games. And then suddenly in 2019 you discovered your love of wrestling. I mean, this is what I love about lists. It's like what happened there. It's like, you know what, screw it, I'll play a wrestling game, because they're great multiplayer. Like they're the most fun games. If you get like 4 people over, 4 controllers, a few drinks, stick on a ladder match for a really ridiculous championship you created, best fun ever.
I have one memory of wrestling ever where I was at like this guy's house. I was like 7, and he was like, "Who are you in WWE?" And I was like, "I don't know." And they were like, "You can be this guy, this guy, this guy." And I was like, "Okay, I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin." And then that was it. He was like the only person I ever knew.
Stone Cold Steve Dan.
Yeah, I thought his name was cool. So
actually, what's very interesting when you go into the stats, it looks like Face Palmer only really got bitten by the bug 3 years ago.
If even,
If even, like maybe you just bought a couple of new games here. That's still better than my all-time month, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
Mine's still 128 trophies. That's my record for a month.
Okay.
So January 2020, it seems like you knew something was coming around March. You kind of knew there was a pandemic. You're gearing yourself up, because in January you're already in pandemic mode here. And then that's
700 trophies in a month. That is insane. Yeah.
So it seems like that changes kind of the dimension of this.
Big time. Yeah, hugely. Like we were looking at it as a 7-year-old list, and really effectively it's more of a 2-year-old list in a lot of ways. So 8,000 trophies effectively over a 2-year period. Yeah.
A lot of gold. I think that speaks to maybe just, the easier games, you've almost the same amount of gold as you do silver. But I think there's enough great games here, as you said, like the trophy cabinet kind of highlights really the games that really deserve to be mentioned more so. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a big incline. All right,
that's a big leap. And let's just say anything at 8. Oh, there is something at 8. 7 trophies. Anything at 7. Nothing 6, 5, 4. Okay.
Yeah.
You get at least 4 hours of sleep guaranteed. The things that this thing tells you about people.
It's a bit invasive, to be honest.
Isn't it? Isn't it? So what are your thoughts on Face Palmer's account?
Like definitely a lot of easy games in there. 61% average rarity. It's definitely got some really good highlights in there. Completion rate's really high, which is cool. To think that, effectively, if we look at it, it's probably around 8,000 trophies since January of last year, which is just an incredible amount of trophies to get. Maybe 7,000 or so, but like that's pretty insane. To be up over a three per day rate over that year. It's I suppose it's kind of, what direction do they want to take it at this point? The completion rate is pretty high already. Maybe flesh out the list now with some more of the kind of the bigger AAA games that you want to play, or maybe some of the more AA games.
And maybe clean up, some of the more accessible games, say like Guacamelee, Persona, maybe just whip out the Vita pretty much, and just kind of tidy up those ones, the ones that are a bit easier. I just find it crazy, man, that like I had about a 10-year head start on Face Palmer. My account was 2008, and it already surpassed me. And like I was going, like that was me going hard on the trophies. Well, I thought so anyway. So, and you've got like Jesus, like well over 100 more plats than me. Like it's insane how quickly people can build up these accounts when they like go for them. So
big time.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Like just a good all around year. Maybe tidy up, see if you can get it up to that 90%. That would be awesome, and maybe just tidy up the other things. But overall, like just really kind of interesting history behind this list. So last but not least, it's Captain Thumbs here, Wooly.
So Bionic Thumbs.
So he's the one. Although he goes by the old pseudonym Laptop 9. Someone was looking at their laptop when they came up with their name, I think. So
it's a pretty neat name, in fairness. It's like
Laptop 9.
It's very succinct. This is a
hidden trophies. 33.
This is a particularly good account,
with this the first account that like I'm relatively familiar with. So I think we'll kind of go through like Wooly, as he's probably more known amongst our community. This is his account. He came first in Platinum Bros Platinum Challenge. And I have to say, I have to defend my boy in my corner and say it's just because, I decided not to partake, but if I were, it was definitely going to be Dan if he didn't take the 2-week break. Just saying.
No, I think like even if I took out the 2-week break, I still don't think I would have been anywhere close to how fast Wooly did it. It was absolutely insane. Like he just tore through these games. And I have to say, I was very appreciative. Like he gave me some really good tips for the Atari collection, because there's like so little out there in terms of resources for some of those trophies, because like there's 30 people who have the platinum, so I really appreciate that. And he was a little bit stuck for 10 out of 10 games because he's got quite a few of them already, so he didn't really have as many options as a lot of other people on what games he could even play. So yeah, like
I'd say it's one of those lists where you can't really say a whole much, because look at that, 476 ultra rares, how many plats, 293 plats, a clean sweep of people from the UK today, it seems. But kind of like you can see that it's a bit of an older account as well. Wow. 13. We share the very same first trophy. Off the boat.
Like, definitely there's a huge amount of kind of shared history there with this list and our own. Like it's a similar age. I think we have similar amount of trophies and kind of trophies per day and stuff. Which is
it's the same. We have the same trophy, and I think the similarities in there. I think overall, there's probably much stronger account.
With nearly 500 ultra rares is insane. Like that's because it's, it's 12 years old, the account, or just over 12 years old.
Unearned, 1,000 unearned, 93% completion. So like, I'd say like it'd be interesting to go into stats. See, like this is going to be like one of those like us where it was pretty consistent throughout the 13 years, like with very little dips.
And you can just see like there's very little filler there. It's just quality game after quality game, pretty much.
Dark Void, do you remember that game? Like the Dead Space knockoff.
I think it was really bad. If I'm remembering correctly, I think I had like a 30% on like or something like that on Metacritic. I remember it not being received very well, but like in terms of just like the kind of the quality of games here, it's every time you move your mouse down, you can kind of see like, oh wow, these are pretty. There's some really good games in there.
Eat lead. lead.
Yeah. the most macho.
In 3 years, you went back to eat lead.
Earth Defense Force is a game that I know. The 2025
one, is it?
Yeah,
is
one that he recently finished. And that was a huge, like you can see there, 0.69% plat. Like it's a huge undertaking.
I'm sorry, man, but this is hilarious. I think this shares a lot in common with your list. The FIFA 09 is just uncanny.
Yeah,
it's actually uncanny because
that's nuts. Yeah.
Because I remember that's the only like FIFA game that was on your account, and that was like back before you cared about trophies.
I have to quickly check and just see what percent I have FIFA 09 at as well, just for the laugh.
Yeah,
just that is really funny. It's the only FIFA game on my account as well, and it's also similarly at around that same kind of percentage. So I'm just googling it.
Dance in research mode.
Cue
montage.
Yeah, I'm surprised I don't have like my list on like, bookmark or something. FIFA 09 is 57%. So
what you going to do about that, Willie?
Yeah. Yeah, 57% FIFA 09. Thank you very much.
My mistakes at a higher percentage than yours.
Yeah, but no, it's so funny like that we have the same one there.
But then it's like no love for Final Fantasy, so I'd say that's where the similarities
That's where our paths divide. Yeah. We went down two different roads, from FIFA 09.
Then the Fortnite platinum. That's
Fortnite
crazy.
is nuts. Yeah, 0.13%. Like there's a huge amount to that. It's like
this is like the evil Dan list. It's like you've got the Gran Turismo 5, he's got Gran Turismo 6.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's a huge amount of similarity. Like just in the games, like it's pretty much got all the big hitters of the last, decade and a half of great games that were released on PlayStation, which is why, why we have such a shared list kind of even, amongst me and you.
Ooh, I think that's a clean sweep of Jack. All 3 stacks.
And like none of them auto popped, because I know you can do Jack 2 like with the debug menu, but he didn't do that.
I'm going to highlight, because I know we've been very quick through the games in this episode, but like in the past 2 accounts being pretty large, but I'm just going to cherry pick Just Cause 3 because I actually think that's a very impressive one. Quite an underrated 100%. Because some of the trials are pretty crazy and like just an awful lot of collectibles. So I think like fair play on that one. That's actually a really cool one that you really don't see that often.
True, absolutely.
Killzone 1, I think that's the only Killzone game bar Shadowfall that isn't on my list. So I'm kind of going through 2 Mafias, North America and EU. That's a unique stack. Didn't even really know that was a thing.
I was just getting some pop-up notifications there. Yeah, like Little Big Planet. He is carding, but I don't have carding. But I just have one on there as well.
Medal of Honor Frontline. I think you're the only other person I'm aware of that has this game on their list.
Yeah, and actually I have the remake one as well. It was actually a pretty good game. I was like hugely into first-person shooters back at kind of the late 2000s, early 2010s. That was my jam. That
was your jam.
Mini ninjas, man, like mini ninjas. This is nuts.
Yeah, again, you two have so much to discuss. No 100% of Mirror's Edge, Bully. I'm disappointed in you.
That's what happens when we look at these amazing lists. It turns into like, oh, look what you don't have.
Yeah.
Because they have everything,
And like far more trophies and ultra rares than I'll ever have. I'm like, yeah, but like you haven't finished Motorstorm Pacific Rift.
You don't have this one trophy, Yeah.
Wow, just Portal.
I'd love to hear like the story about some of the more the more funny games. Like there was a Meow game up there that I'm not aware of, but I'm sure like there must be some story there.
This has to be the longest stack of Ratchet and Clank games.
Yeah, big
Honestly,
time. Yeah,
that's insane. That has to be all the possible ones, right?
It's all the ones I can think of.
Yeah,
at least
all the ones I can think of. Yeah. Oh, Red Faction, and recently.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Fair
I know.
play.
Wally's been kind of going back and cleaning up a lot of things. It's
That's so cool to see 11 years.
11
because
years.
It paints a picture that he's been there for 11 years slaving away at it.
Yeah, it's a big plot though. It's a tough one.
Resistance 2. That brings me back. That was kind of like one of the like super difficult ones on the PS3 as well. Like very early on.
10,000 kills, I think, online, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it was like super grindy.
Yeah.
And then throw in Road Bustle and Road Rage.
Road Bustle. Yeah, that's a very out of place game for this list, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah, I think we're only cherry picked because it sticks out so much, because like this, for the most part, is essentially just like really, really good games mixed with like really obscure kind of super difficult niche games.
And you can see there, like, what is really interesting is that, say, like the Sly games, he didn't auto pop Thieves in Time there.
Well, yeah, I was about to say Sign Shapes didn't auto pop
and didn't auto pop Sound Shapes. Actually, does he have Thieves in Time? I don't know. No. But Sound Shapes, he didn't auto pop them. He just platinumed them, multiple times. I know he did one of them for the challenge. Yeah, like there's just some really great games, and like I just know that the skill that this guy has is kind of off the charts.
Yeah, and what I just love about it is such an OG account, because like I can just relate so much to this list, especially as like me and you were kind of like in the trophies, since they kind of were really a thing, and to see Terminator Salvation, The Darkness 2, The Saboteur, like all these games that like The Saboteur just isn't talked about, like it just was never a thing.
Yeah, it was a really good game, actually. It was at like that peak of like every game is now open world,
Yeah, Irish accent dubious, but apart from that, like it was just like a kind of fun little game. But
yeah,
I really like that. Like there's so much crossover with your list and a little like with mine as well. Like we both have one foot firmly in like we lived through the entire PS3 generation kind of thing.
Yeah.
Vanquish in a day.
In a day, yeah, exactly.
Oh, that is sick. Oh, Wolfenstein.
Yeah, not once, twice. He did. He got the German edition. I think that makes a lot of sense though. Like when you've like learned how to do Mein Leben like once, sure, why not get the German one and do it again? You've already put in the work, so why not do it again? It's is that how you say it? Mein Leben, or is it Mein Leben? I don't know.
Mein Leben, is it?
Leben. I don't know.
Oh, Mein Leben. My life.
Yeah.
Killer Machine. No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And we've hit the end of it there, ending on a very strange Sumo note when you arrange the list alphabetically. Wipeout HD.
Wipeout HD, yeah.
This year you went back to it, man. That's just cool.
That's a serious one, yeah. I remember the Beat Seco trophy.
Not the plant. Oh, you just cleaned up the DLC. Okay,
DLC.
Oh, that was the first game where I'm like, will I add it to my list? I'm scared.
Yeah. I remember thinking the same. Like I was never big into Wipeout, but I always was definitely put off it because of how hard it looked.
So I'm gonna go straight into the stats here because I'm curious.
Definitely needs the stats. I'd like to see the milestones as well.
Good. That is excellent.
41% is it just shows that it's all kind of quality there. Yeah.
And kind of that ratio of like bronze to silver to gold to plats is kind of on point. It's kind of like a even enough split.
Yeah, it's like 3 times each one, kind of is like the standard formula, isn't it?
And you know, a lot of S ranks. I think anything under 45 is fantastic.
Yeah.
So to be kind of touching 40 is like really, really good.
Like you said,
again,
extremely consistent there. Yeah.
Yeah, just, you know, ebbs and flows like everyone has in life. You know, I think I had a period of 4 or 5 months where I didn't get any trophies either.
Yeah.
But considering that this account, it goes back to October 08, just like mine.
Yes, and always coming back to the games as well, you know. Always.
Yeah, it's that kind of heart monitor timeline that you like to see, you know, up and down, up and down,
up and down. Yeah.
And just let's see, will he get a good night's sleep?
Big time. Yeah.
And then mainly a weekend gamer. And you wanted to go to the milestones, did you?
Yeah, I just have a look at them and see what they were. Like it's funny because it's like nearly the exact same amount of trophies per day as me. Very similar number of trophies, very similar number of plats, although he has, I think, about 20 more plats than me, but like a similar number of games played as well. I think like our accounts are very, very similar in terms of the stats. The only difference is that he has like the 400 unearned trophies. If I got 400 of my unearned trophies, I'd have kind of exactly the same stats, you know, except for obviously the ultra rares, because he's got like double the amount of ultra rares that I have.
Yeah, no, that's pretty crazy. Such a good list.
Really, really strong.
See the milestones. Latest plan of Dead Space 2. I wonder if you'll do Dead Space 3. I don't remember seeing that.
Well, I think Dead Space 2 was, I think it was maybe the second time he did it, because I think he went back and kind of did it the second time possibly, or maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I think he might have been said that he's going to do it the second time at least.
I didn't even think it was possible to get Killzone 2's platinum 5 years ago, but there you go.
Wow. Yeah.
So, Call of Duty,
100 plat was Burning Skies. What was the first platinum?
First platinum Resistance 2.
Resistance 2. Oh yeah, it's a pretty good start to a platinum, you know, considering it like needed 10,000 kills or whatever.
Oh, that's an excellent first plat.
Yeah. It's very uncommon first plat as well, I imagine.
Yeah, who makes that their first plat?
Yeah.
Well, he knew what he had become.
Yeah. No, it's just a really strong account. Great games on there, great consistency, ultra rares, you know, completion rate
coming out the ass here. My God.
Yeah. Yeah,
a lot of sub 1% as well.
Yeah, now you can see like a lot of those ultra rares, like say on this first page, were in like the last year or a year or two. Which you see a lot of like 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, kind of shows you that you can kind of like at any point go up and kind of really claw your numbers up more than they were, I suppose. Like this was obviously
like even the Ballad of Gay Tony, you know, like to go back and do the DLC in older games.
Yeah.
You know, like overall, I think it's such a good list.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the best lists that we've reviewed. I'd be interested to see what the hidden trophies are. That'd be very interesting.
Yeah, Wooly, what are you hiding? What are you hiding? Hannah Montana plat, is it, Wooly?
But like, look, no, it's, you know, it's a pretty awesome list in fairness.
Yeah, I don't think we can say much more than that, really. So, Wooly, keep doing what you're doing. You should probably get that Mirror's Edge DLC if you can. Just like if you can.
I think this guy likes challenges big time. So he's not one to shy away from a challenge. And to anyone that can platinum Vanquish in like 2 days is, you know, top tier.
It was literally a day, man.
Yeah. Well, I remember for me, it was more of a, you know, I don't think I'll ever do this. And then one day I did. So
I think I had to like reach a different place, like my gaming nirvana, or like just my ultimate skill level. And I haven't been able to hit that since.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
But yeah, no. So thanks for sending the list, guys. I know we do this biannually at this point, but we still enjoy looking through everyone's list. So yeah, Dan, thank you for joining me. I think you're below me.
Yep.
So you get to tickle me for a change.
Yeah, I'm here. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe not. I'll tickle myself. That's the same emotionally. Anyway. Platchums!